Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols observed. My name is Jane Waithera, and I'm also a girl from a small village in Nyeri County. And as you can see, I have albinism. And I was the only girl who looked like me in an entire county until when I was 19 is when I met someone else who looked like me. So when I speak here, I speak from experience of being a child with a disability in a rural setup in Kenya. And I also speak as a woman who has also encountered multiple discrimination on the basis of my impairment. So today we are here because we need to talk about the issues that affect persons with disabilities in the Mount Kenya region, to be specific. And I'll start with the first one. You know, Kenya as a country, we've made a lot of progress in terms of representation of persons with disabilities in both elective and appointive positions. There's a 5% quota. But what is sad is that a lot of our counties in the Mount Kenya region, and I mentioned Nyeri, Murang'a, Nyandarua, among others, do not have the representation of people with disabilities in the county assemblies. So that's one of the key challenges that we as people with disabilities face. We are left out in key decision-making processes. The other big challenge, and I also see it here today, is communication barriers. We are in political environment and discussing politics and who leads this country in the next elections. But then, if we had a listener here who has a hearing impairment, they would be left out because they cannot laugh when you people are laughing because they cannot understand what we are all saying here. So that being said, it therefore goes further to not just communication barriers in terms of sign language, but also thinking around how do we disseminate our political materials and education materials. We have voter registration going on. We don't know how far this has been inclusive of people with disabilities. I say I am a firm believer of disability inclusive development, na kwa Kiswahili ni kusema maendeleo yanayojumuisha watu wenye ulemavu. Maendeleo yanayojumuisha watu wenye ulemavu ni ukijenga hospitali unakumbuka kuna mlemavu ataingia kwa ile hospitali. Ukijenga kanisa, ukijenga barabara unakumbuka kuna mlemavu atataka kutumia wheelchair kwenye ile barabara bado. Kwa hivyo I really hope that the future and the leaders of this country in the future will be able to think about us and our needs without forgetting us at all. And this means then we must be involved meaningfully and be consulted in decision-making processes on issues that affect us. And I go to the next challenge, which I think all of us are aware. Siasa ni pesa. I think that's the saying we all talk about. But when you think about siasa, pesa na mlemavu, in many cases because of the historical barriers. When you think about education, we don't get to go to school. There is no school that can admit me in my neighborhood. I eventually become unemployed. And even when I want to do business, I have no access to financial inclusion. That therefore means even the day Waithera, the little girl from the village, wants to vie, she does not have the resources. She does not have the money. And who can only be resolved by people investing in the participation of persons with disabilities in these spaces.